Something interesting. I am going to be making a beginner's guide to inscription. However, I'm not going to play the main story. At least not. I'm not going to be playing Act 2, Act 3. We'll be playing something called Casey's Mod, which is basically Act 1 with a bit of extra stuff and none of the story relevancy. That is a little bit, but it doesn't. You don't like that till much later on. I'm going to go with the deck you usually start with. Ignore the challenges. They'll mean nothing unless you unlock Casey's mod. You won't ever see them. Oh yeah, I have the rabbit pelts. Right, well this fucking trading thing is like the merchant. He trades pelts for creatures. Again, I'm not meant to technically have this, but it's because I'm in Casey's mod. This is how you always start a run. Usually in main game you'll start with a stoat as well as another creature I've forgotten. As well as a few of these cards are unlocked through Casey's mod. I've forgotten which one. I think the worker ant is... So is this the cockroach? Or is it a big game? There'll be a few creatures. If you play the game and you don't see them and you play through, you'll mostly be because it's locked to Casey's mod. Pick the beehive and the cockroach for now. Yeah, this is the easiest way to do a spoiler-free version of Inscription. So I have Stoat, Bullfrog, Wolf, Beehive, Cockroach. One's worth per... I guess the Cockroach step from... It's a 4 cost. I can get something like the Gek. Be worth powering up. And that reminds God. So yeah, as you can see, there are 3 paths. You unlock different ones at different points throughout the story, but this is the one you'll encounter first, so I might go with that one. Then you'll unlock the backpack, then you'll unlock the 2. So yeah, I'll go to the campfire first. So, in the main game, usually you're only able to use the power-ups once, I believe. The campfire power-ups. What they do is, so this one was a +2 to HP. So when I do it, I'm guaranteed to get +2 to HP. So as you see, it's went from a 3-2 to a 3-4. I don't feel like doing a gambling one right now, so... And this, as you could probably guess, is a battling square. One on the left is something similar. I'll get to it probably on the 3rd run. So right, this is my first battle. So I start with a squirrel, bullfrog, a wolf, and a cockroach. Technically I should also not have the cockroach till at least my 3rd run on Act 1. Is it 3rd or is it 2nd? No, I think it's 2nd you unlock bones. So bone creatures work differently to these guys. So the blue cost in the top left, so currently I could summon the bullfrog because I've already placed down a squirrel. Squirrel has no cost, it has 1 health, but I can use it for sacrificing. Since the bullfrog is 1 cost, I can do it. However, I can't do the wolf because I've only got 1. That's when items come in handy. So I can take this squirrel in a bottle, place that down. 1, 2, 3. No, I need 1 more. But I kill the ringworm. Right. So as you see, each time I sacrifice one of them, I got a bone token. Like I said, you won't get them to your second run in Act 1, but it will make a lot more sense. Oh, so we added 3 damage. Obviously on my wolf card, so you can compare the start on the left. There's the counter on the left. The counter on the left you can't really see right now, but yeah, so it went up by 3 notches because I did 3 direct damage to him. If I do 5 damage from the start, it's an instant win. However, if he does 5 damage from the start, that's a loss. I'll see if I can get any over damage. The ants, like other cards, have their own unique mechanics as well. So, like, the more ants there are on the field, the more damage they will do. Yeah, so I had 4 bone tokens, so I've just used 4 to summon the cockroach. Yeah, I took 1 damage, didn't I? Right, so which... I'll see if there are any... Usually the... Is that one? Right. So... These are card spaces, they allow me to get an extra card. This one will allow me to choose a card. It will give me any one at random, and I get to choose what blood cost it has. So how many units I need to sacrifice to get it on the field. This one will go by its kinship. Kinship is just the type of card it is. So, my bullfrog is it a lizard? Yeah, it's classed as a lizard. My wolf is classed as canine. My beehive is classed as insects, and my cockroach is classed as insects. So each card has their own ones, and that comes important later on when I get to a carver. Now, personally, I would always go with the blood cost, because kinship can be a massive roll of the dice, and you only get to choose from 1 card when you've chosen what kin type you want, whereas blood cost is a lot more forgiving. It's a lot better for deck building. So currently I've got a 2 cost, a 3 cost, and a bone cost. Now the bone cost is any bone cost at all, whereas 3 cost is only 3 cost and 2 cost is only 2 cost. You can also get 1 cost, but it didn't show up. I'm going to go with 3 cost, and I got a grizzly. It's actually a pretty strong card. Totems. Totems. Guess I put beehive. Oh, sacrifice, yeah. So, I'm not sure if I've explained this yet, but a lot of cards have sigils. So the bullfrog, it prevents any aerial damage that flying units might do. The beehive, every time it gets hit, whether the opponent has it or you have it, you always get a bee, which is a 1/1 flying, and has 0 cost. Cockroach, which has one of the best abilities in the game, when it dies, the card returns to your hand. Now, the way that works is a bit different between Casey's mod and the base game. Casey's mod has a bunch of rebalancing to make it a lot more balanced. Because one of the strongest cards and the easiest one to get a win with is called Ouroboros, which you can get infinite loop of sacrificing, coming back to your hand, sacrificing, coming back to your hand, and so on and so forth. I think I'm going to try and get a... Give that to the wolf. As you see, the wolf now has the beehive sigil, but every time it gets hit, it now gives me a 1/1 bee. Oh, Kingfish. So as you can see, these kingfisher naturally have two sigils. They have the airborne. Again, I'm not sure I explained this, but the bullfrog is good for blocking airborne. Airborne ignores the card in front of it and attacks over it as long as you do not have an anti-airborne sigil, like the bullfrog does, in which it then damages the bullfrog instead. Waterborne means that after its turn, it will then be submerged during combat when it's being attacked by you. It's like you have the flying sigil without actually having it, when your opponent has the waterborne sigil. It can be threatening if there are too many strong waterborne creatures on the field and you don't have that much damage, but usually it's not. It's usually considered one of the worst sigils to have in the game. As you can see, it has flying, so it was able to hit above me. But because the bullfrog had giant leap, it was able to block it. Seems to reach a stalemate. Huh. No, I'll just take the easy route. Now, because the otter does not have flight, it cannot attack over, while still having the downsides of being waterborne. Oh, I forgot to explain what this is. So this is just random cards. You get 3 random cards of any type, any damage, and any cost. So you can see a 2 cost, a 5 cost with bones, and a 1 cost of sacrifice. Completely random. Mud Turtle and Wolverine, and I think, is it Elk Fawn or is it the other one? No, it's not Elk Fawn. Mud Turtle and Wolverine are case spell exclusive. That Lucky Clover you can get through items. Alpha and Direwolf Pup again are Casey's mod exclusive, I believe. That's fine. Because the Direwolf Pup, I'm not going to use the Direwolf Pup itself. I'm going to try and not use cards that are what's the word? Like, not exclusive to the main game. Stoat, Bullfrog, Grizzly, Cockroach, I know they're in the main game. Direwolf Pup, on the other hand, isn't. Who do I give this to? I give it to the Bullfrog, honestly. I believe I've already explained Sacrifice and Sigils. Also, I am not going to be doing the ideal run for Inscription. I'm just going to be doing whatever would best show off. I'm going to get rid of this. Right, and now I can summon the cockroach for a 4 cost. How much damage am I doing? Yeah, you know what, I will show it off. So there is another mechanic in this game I'm going to show off called overdamage. As you can see, he only has 4 health, whereas I have 7 damage on the board. So if I attack, count will go by 4, and then I'll get 3 extra gold teeth, which will be important, and there's a reason I did that this time, because of this space. This is the trapper, and this is how you get pelts. Ignore the knife, he's not meant to have that right now. Again, another unlockable thing. Here, he always gives you a free rabbit pelt. Then, you can buy another rabbit pelt. They will, you saw what they did at the start of the run, he gives you 8 cards. How many rabbit pelts you have, you get to choose one. The wolf pelt is something very similar, but a little bit different. It gives you the same choice of cards from what you can get, but they all have sigils, at least 1, sometimes 2. Completely random which sigils they have, and on top of that, some of them could have the base sigils they always have. So like a bullfrog will always have the anti-airborne, and then maybe you'll have beehive, and then so on and so forth. The golden pelt I'm going to wait because A, I can't afford it, so there's no point in me buying it. Yeah. So I only have 3 teeth right now, so all I can afford is a rabbit pelt, which I'm going to buy. The prices do increase every phase, but I'll explain that later. The same goes with the golden pelts do the exact same thing as the other two. Well, as the rabbit pelt, but it gives a different rarity of card. I'll explain the 2 different rarity, like the other rarity once I beat the boss, because that's when I'll be able to best show it off. At least I hope. It's fisherman, so also this is not the normal boss order. There is meant to be. It's meant to go. I should get that far in the run. It's meant to go. A boss called the Prospector, then the Fisherman, and then the Trapper, and then the final boss of the run. It was Gek, that's what I wanted. Oh, I don't think I explained what the sigils do on the bullfrog. I'll do that in a second. Give me my card back. So, on the bullfrog, the bone digger you're not meant to have. You don't get that Dalcasis mod. However, fledgling you do. Fledging is an okay sigil. What it does is it gives you 1 extra attack and 2 extra damage normally. If you put it on a card that's not meant to have it, that's what it normally does. So the bullfrog would then become an elder bullfrog after 1 turn. So I'll place it, I take my attack. When it becomes my turn again, he will now be a 2 damage, 6 health bullfrog. Well, elder bullfrog. There are certain exceptions to this. There's a card called the Strange Larvae, which works. It's probably the best example of it not working like a normal sigil you put on any other card. It has a unique effect on it where if it has fledging, which is what it comes with, after 2 turns, it will then become a 7 damage flying creature. But it takes 2 turns instead. And after the first turn, it does not get increased damage, it just gets the increased health. So certain cards have their own unique mechanics, but but most of them don't, which is the good thing to know. Oh well, I guess it's time to use my cockroach. Do I use it on the grizzly or do I use it on the stoat? Stoat could be good for sacrifice, but grizzly could be very good. Oh yeah, you know what, I'll go for a mortal grizzly. Right. So, I have not explained this mechanic yet, but the candles. If you lose a battle, you have 2 lives. At least in the main game. You do not unlock that till you've at least died once. But you do have 2 lives. Up until the boss. If you have both candles alive when you get to the boss of the area, you get something called the smoke, which is like a squirrel, but it also gives you 4 bones when it dies. And the boss has 2 candles, which means it has 2 health bars. You only need to beat it twice to win. Can be difficult, but it is entirely doable. But now that's what I'm going to do. There's a very, very specific reason I'm doing that. That's because of the Fisherman's ability. Each boss has their own unique ability, and they all do their own unique thing. The Fisherman's is probably the most easy to understand, other than the Prospector. There's a reason the Prospector is the first boss, the Fisherman is second. The third boss is a lot more complicated than this, because you have to plan around it. I mean, you do have to... anyway. So, the first turn you place down a card, obviously nothing happens. After the second turn, that mark will appear over the most recent card you have played. Squirrel is the most recent one I have played, so it's over it. After I take my turn, Fisherman will then move my card from where it is onto his side of the field. So it will go to, if you can see where the highlighted part is now, it will go from here to here. Now, there's a very important reason I did that, is because he's bringing in a Kingfisher. The squirrel will then keep that card in place. And obviously, because the squirrel is a 0-1, it cannot do any damage. It's easy to kill, so I could technically kill the Kingfisher. I'm not going to, it's more beneficial for me to keep him alive. But so yeah, comes down into my next turn, he pulls it up, and the Kingfisher is up there again. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to place a smoke. So I can end this phase. So I've beaten the first phase. Now, every boss has their own unique second phase. The Fisherman will do this. He will place 2 bait buckets. Now, this can be trivialized if you have a sigil called trifurcated or bifurcated. What they do, bifurcated attacks, it'll be easier for Paul card. So if I had bifurcated, I would attack this square, and this square. If I had it on the wolf, it would be doing 3 damage to each of those squares. Which would activate the bait bucket in front of me, would also activate would do damage to the left and activate the one on the right. Bifurcated does that, but it does not attack in front. It's a lot easier to get, because only one card in the game has trifurcated. But, like I said, bifurcated is easier to get. It will only attack the one on the left and the one to the right of you, and not in front. So this bait bucket I'm highlighting right now would not get attacked for 3 damage, but the other 2 would. And then obviously the other bullfrog would do his damage. Now, if I destroy a bait bucket, it summons a card called the Great White. It always does this, it's the only card it can summon. There's a 4 damage, 2 health, Waterborne. And I think the worst part about fighting them is they are Waterborne. They have a lot of damage and not a lot of health. Now, I'm going to show off one of my abilities. Items. Again, you are not meant to have this in the base game, but I'm going to show it off anyway because I kind of need it, not to win, but to make a win easier, because I kind of be arsed. So that allows me to do what his exact ability does, but I can choose which card I want to take. I choose the Great White, so I got the Great White. Now what I'm going to do is summon a Grizzly, sacrificing all of them. Now, With the exception of one card, it does not matter how much you spent to create a card. So as you saw, the Great White was a 3 cost. It still only counts towards 1 sacrifice. That's why I had to use the bee and the squirrel to still get the grizzly out. Which I then deal 4 damage. He's going to attack me, not do anything. That's what I felt. Goddamn. I got 3 over there. And I beat the boss. So I beat both phases. And then he realized both your candles. Now, this is what I was talking about. After you beat a boss, you get a selection of 3 cards. And they will always be rare cards. And this is usually, not always, but usually the only way you can get them. I got the one I wanted, just not when I wanted it. So Long Elk, it moves to the right or to the left if there is an available space. So say I spawn it all the way on the left. After every turn, it will move 1 to the right, 1 to the right, 1 to the right. And once I got to the end, it would then go the other direction until it cannot move anymore, as in there are 3 cards, all the other spaces are filled. And then its other one, and a strong air ability if you can attack multiple times, Touch of Death. It instantly kills any card in front of it that does not have a specific sigil that cancels it, which you cannot get in the main game. With enemies, and you can have this sigil. It is one of the stronger ones. It's not completely busted, but it's one of the stronger ones. Ouroboros has Unkillable. However, it does have a unique version of Unkillable. Every time it dies, I probably should have done this in the base game, but in the base game, every time Ouroboros dies in battle, it gets 1 more damage and 1 more health. And that is permanent throughout your entire run. Now, in Casey's mod, it does not have that. It's not permanent, it's only for the battle you're in. It's not as strong. Obviously, you can still cheese it completely, but it's not as strong. And then Gek is just a 0 sigil, 1 cost, 1 damage, 1 health, 0 cost. However, it's very versatile when you give it something like Unkillable. And there's another specific sigil I'd like to give it, but I don't think I'll be able to. I'll try and avoid, like I said, I'll try and avoid anything that isn't in the base game. As long as I'm not using it for sigils. 95% of the sigils that I have in Casey's mod are already in the base game. In one form or another. Any sacrifice before that? No, there isn't any sacrifices before him. That's unfortunate. Oh well. What do I show off next between you and you? Right, I'll show off you. So the backpack space, what it allows you to do is you have a total of 3 items. Currently, I already have a pliers, which I'll explain what they do in a second. And then now I can choose between 2 sets of 3 items. I choose the black goat, which just gives you a black goat in your hand, which is a very strong card. Squirrel, which just gives me a squirrel in my hand. Again, pretty strong. And a pair of pliers, which is not that strong. That's why I haven't had to use them yet. I do not think that's in the base game. Squirrel and plier, I'm going to go squirrel. Actually, no, I'll probably be able to show off the black goat here. Oh, yeah, so this is a unique battle. There are easier and harder ones based on what path you choose. You can always tell which is which, because the normal one will look like a normal skull, and then this one will look like a skull with antlers. What the enemies have is a totem. Wood carving totem, whatever you want to call it. Technically, it's a permanent... Well, actually, no, not technically. It is just a permanent sigil type that a specific animal type will have. So, they got forest, deer. So, elk, fawn, moose buck, all the deer type cards will now have a sigil called Stinky permanently, which will make me do 1 less damage if I am in front of them. Which is a very strong ability. So strong, in fact, I am actually going to put a Black Goat here. So what the Black Goat does is, like I said, one of the most useful cards for a deck like this. It costs one sacrifice to get on the field. However, its sigil allows me to use it as if it's 3. It's a very strong card, but like I said, hard to get. And ooh, so Bullfrog won't have any damage this turn. Now it goes up to... That should be a win. Yes. Oh, that's just a king card. Oh well. So these are the king cards. I could choose a lizard, insect, or deer. What would be best for me right now? Yeah, Grizzly doesn't have any. Gek is insects. Wolf, lizard. Insect, wolf, lizard. It's only one of each. Go insect. I got beehive. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So this is one of my favourite characters and spaces on the board. I believe this is in the base game. Yes, it is in the base game. At least Act 1. I know it's in Act 2 as well as Act 3, I believe. Yes, it's in Act 3. Well, it's a lot harder to do in Act 3. Now, what he allows me to do is choose a set of 2 cards. They have to be duplicates. They do not have to have the same sigils. So one Grizzly has Unkillable, the other one doesn't have any sigils, so I can use that. You can also do it with pelts. I would not advise that, unless you really need to get rid of one of the pelts. What he does is he fuses the 2 cards together. So those 2 4/6 Grizzlies now become an 8/12 Grizzly that has Unkillable. Doesn't lower the cost and doesn't increase it either. Just increases the damage and health by the amount both cards had. And gets both of their sigils. So if one had Unkillable, the other one had, I don't know, the Beehive. It would then have the Beehive and Unkillable. It works much better when you have a card that has a natural, what are the cards? A natural sigil. So obviously the normal Beehive already has a natural sigil, and then I chuck another sigil on top of it. It works best like that. Oh, this is kind of close. I'm gonna have to pull out a pair of pliers. That's 3 damage. I'm gonna kill that porcupine, and then I'm gonna get the grizzly out. I'm playing this a lot riskier than I really should. But, well. I don't even know why I'm playing this risky. I really should get rid of the squirrel. Yeah, now the grizzly does 8 damage. Just 8 damage. So I can win in 1 turn, technically. What would be best for me right now? Sacrifice will do very little, but I also do not want to get a king card. That's the cave up there. Do I show that off? No, I'll get a chance later on. I really do not want to get another king card, because king cards are not good. And it's time for one of my favourite sigils in the game. Full stop. Favourite. Field mice onto the Geck. So their sigil is something called fecundity. It's a lot, very, very weak in Casey's mod. The one above the cave, completely ignore, that's Casey's mod exclusive. But yeah, they have an ability called fecundity. So when I place a card, I get another version of that card in my hand. Very strong, because in the base game, you can infinitely do that. In Casey's mod, you can only get 1 copy. I mean, technically, you can put unkillable on it as well and get infinite copies, but that's its own thing, and technically takes a few turns to do, and it is countered by what you call it? The point is, it gets countered very easily. You know what? I'm trying to get rid of this rabbit pelt. I don't really need it. You know what? There we go. 3 squirrels. To be fair, I can just win in 1 turn here, which I am going to do. Wolverine is very scary to fight against, to be fair. Right, so Red Heart is one of the most overpowered cards in the game if you have the right set. Basically, its damage is based on half of... I think it is half? Oh no, it's equal to the number of sacrifices you have made this turn. And there are technically infinite loop of sacrifices you can make a turn. So it is one of the most overpowered cards in the game if you have the right setup, even including a base game or a burst, which I am. I'm also going to take another field mice, because another fecundity doesn't hurt. I'll get to show off the totem as well. So the campfires can give both damage and HP. Gives 2 HP or 1 damage. I haven't actually gotten any damage ones yet though. So this is the wood carver. The whole sigil totem that I was fighting against earlier. You can also have one. What you do is you need to go 2 of them. You choose 1 sigil part and then 1 kin part. So if I choose that one, I get the insect part, and then whatever sigil I combine with the insect one, because you can get every sigil in the game to my knowledge, or at least most of them, whatever you combine with that kin part, so like I said, it's an example of using the insect part, so if, say I use that one, every insect card I have would be able to move one to the right, and any creature to the right would then move to the left. Yeah, you move behind it, and say it was going to the left, it would then move to the right. It works like the Long Elks one did, only it also moves the card in front of it behind it. I think I'm going to choose the wolf for now, because the Gek is a lizard, and I haven't actually done one of their decks yet. I think you can get one, I just haven't done it yet. So this is the Prospector. This is the first boss you're meant to encounter. There's a few unique mechanics. It can be one of the hardest to fight against, in all honesty. Yeah, you know what, I'll just take the damage. You can't kill me. So yeah, you see the sigil this rock has? That's what prevents creatures from dying instantly to Touch of Death. So the unique mechanic for the Prospector is the pack meal. When I kill this thing, and you cannot kill it with insta-kill items. So there are scissors, which you can kill any card you want on the field. It uses up the scissors, but it guaranteed kills it, no matter how much health or damage it has. It will still proc something like Unkillable, though, as well as the knife, which does the exact same thing. The only difference is, instead of being able to get it from the pack, you can only get it from the trapper. Pack mule cannot die to those. However, when you do kill it, it will give you a bunch of random cards. Well, not random, there are always certain cards it can give you, but it will give you a bunch of cards. Mule again, damn it. Oh, fuck. I'm a bit low here. You know what? No, I just attack. Because they won't be able to do 9 damage in one turn. I need to get out as many squirrels as I can, as well as blocking that they are blocking off. So I want the squirrel and the boulder to die here, because that will then allow me to have 3 free slots. And because of the Grizzly's ability that I gave it, Unkillable, specifically for scenarios like this and the Trapper. So in second phase, whatever cards you have on the field, he will turn to gold. Obviously, I had a Grizzly on the left slot, so he turned to gold. That's why I wanted to get rid of the Boulder and the Squirrel, because he always has a Boulder on the field. You want to get rid of it, so you have more slots, because that slot is permanently there until one of these creatures kills it. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I have to find a way to work around it. Which was the point of Unkillable. That, and I want to use it on the next boss as well. That's neither here nor there. I also do need to summon something else. Probably Wolverine? Just so that I don't take too much damage. So yeah, the Wolverine's mechanic is every card it kills in the battle, it gets more damage. As you can tell, it's pretty fucking strong if you can build it up. It is very hard to build up though. That's why I personally don't usually take it. It can be good though, like I said. Another Gek. Another Gek would be very good. Yeah, Gek is easily the best thing there. I need to give it a good sigil though. Because there should be another mycologist. The second and third rounds usually always have a mycologist. Do I have any good sigils? I mean, I guess I could technically give it another fecundity. I'm not sure if that would work though. Would it have double fecundity? I've never actually tried that. Giving a card double fecundity. I'll hold off. I'll hold off for now. So usually I would want to lose this. This is the cave that I was talking about earlier. What this allows me to do is, if I beat any of one of these challenges, I get a card with a sigil. Like, not a card that has a natural one, an unnatural sigil. So something like a bullfrog with a beehive. This one is, if I have 3 sigils, because the way this minigame works is, I pick that, and then I draw 3 cards. If any of those 3 fit those requirements, I win. So say if I pull a card that has 3 sigils, I win. If I pull a card that has two of the 3 cards that have kin, I win. Or if I pull any of the 3 cards that in total go up to 4 cost, I win. Now, what would be easiest for me? I have the 2 rabbit pelts, the Gek and the Stoat that don't have anything. That's 4 out of my 10 cards. If I choose kinship, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 don't have kins, and 4 cost wise, 2 of them don't have cost. 4 of them don't have cost even. 1, 2, 3 have 1 cost, 2 have 2 cost, and then 1 has 3 cost. So, I personally want to lose this because I do not like the cards you draw. It just bloats your deck. It's not. I personally don't like it. I've been told other people like it. Not my forte. So I'm going to choose this to lose. As long as I don't draw the grizzly, yep, I lose it. Because only 1 cost from the beehive and 1 cost from the bullfrog that gets there. Now, if I would have wanted to win, I would have chosen sigil, because that's 4 sigils in total. But like I said, I wanted to lose. You already know what fucking sigils and that should do. How you put unnatural ones on. Right. Ooh, do I get stinky? I only have 1 wolf. So I give it this card, which makes it do more damage based on the amount of attacks it does. If I can, not the amount of attacks it does, the amount of kills it gets. If I can get that on Lizard, that'll be pretty good for me. Yeah, you don't want to take that. Fuck. Right, ideally I get a Mantis here. Like, not in this battle, as in, from the next card space. The Gek, same cost as a squirrel, no cost at all. So then allows me to do this. Turn 1 Grizzly. It is easier to do if you have a black goat with a creature with Dex Search, but I don't. I don't have either of those, to be fair. Still not good sigils. Ideally, I get a cockroach. Guess I'll take Raven. Raven Egg's not that bad of a card. Do I get rid of it then? Or do I keep the Raven Egg? Because it's a mycologist to the left, so I'm going to have to fuse the Gex. Because the final area I do not believe has a mycologist. I'll see if I can get the lizard. Yeah. If I can get the lizard, can... Oh, shit, I did get the lizard one. Yeah, you know what? I'll do Gek then. I'll command the 2 Geks. That's perfect. Now every time it kills a creature, it'll do more damage. I would have liked to give it another sigil, but yeah, can't always have what I want. This might be a loss here. Yeah, so I'm going to do something I shouldn't do, but I do not want to do multiple attempts at this stream, so I'm going to do it. What you can technically do is exit the main menu, then come back, and it will allow you to do exactly what I just did. Now, so I'll show off what Fecundity does then. That gives me an exact copy of the card I just played. Yeah, I'll sacrifice that one. That's not for me. I'm playing the rabbit pelt there because I do not really need it. Is that still a loss? Right. I kill the elk fawn. The alpha does 1 damage to me. Raven attacks. Raven does 3 damage. Yes. I'll admit I do not like using this tactic, but I really do not want to do another run after this because, I mean, this run already took me how long? It's already been an hour. Huh. You know what? Actually, I've got an idea. Draw. Play the 2 squirrels. Yeah, this is why I do not like flying. What I can do, because moles are annoying to fight when they come out of flying creatures, because it means nothing is doing any damage. To me, to my creatures directly, meaning the only way I can get more out is sacrificing. But what I can do is I can abuse the mole. I can attack, which will put the mole in front of where he would normally spawn. Then what I'm going to do is place a beehive here. And a gig. Oh, fuck, the raven will still kill it. It's not good. It's not good at all. I should have swapped where. If I put the gek where the scroll was there, I would have actually survived. squirrel, place, wolf here, and the geck here. One damage. Will survive the next turn. The geck will not be destroyed, actually. I forgot I had 3 health. Which I then draw. Raven egg, which is not great. Alpha may actually kill me here. I'll deal 1 damage to the Raven and kill the elk fawn. Elk won't do any damage. I need 3 damage here. Basically can't. As long as you build your deck right, there is usually always a scenario in which you can win. Really should have burned the Raven egg. But that's what I get for being greedy. Try this. This is not good for me. If I can have the geck kill them all. Right, that's going to kill the alpha. The Raven's not going to do any damage because the geck is there. Now I'm going to do 5 damage, which will negate a few turns of the Raven. Now that should be a win because I'm doing 2, 3, 5 damage. No, it's not going to be a win. This will be, though. So now the wolf is also doing 3 damage. Yeah, like I said, I do not endorse that method. I just personally do not want to redo this entire run. Do I take the black goat here? I think I should take the black goat here. Oh, and I get rid of the... Oh, do I want to get rid of the pelt for another card? Because they're going to have costs, and I don't really want to draw some shit cards first turn. Yeah, combine the 2 Gex, so I never have to worry about getting the wrong one. And now they will permanently be at 2 damage, 4 health, with Fecundity. So they will be a lot easier to use. Ravens. One damage. Oh yeah, he'll block that. Oh, I already fucked up. Yeah, it's gonna be 5 damage. This is why I hate fighting flying creatures, especially later on in the run, because he always spawns a vulture first turn. Which is a 3 damage, 3 health flying creature. Fuck me, that is really bad. Oh, the 2-4. Oh, well, that's just a win. Because what I can do is that and that. Just 5 damage straight into a win. Now, personally, I do not want to do this, but at the same time, it will be helpful. Oh, they're all shit. Guess I'll take the wolf and skunk. I will get 3 items, which will make this easier. Especially if I get one of the good items. Could put flying on lizards now. It wouldn't help. Would not help at all. And the other one is even worse. Like it is considered to be a negative sigil. If a creature has it, you want to get rid of it. Hopefully I get the hourglass. Fan will be useless here. Take the scroll then. Right, so that gives me 4 tokens. The fan just gives all your creatures flying for a turn. Guess I'll take the scroll then. It'll have to do. There are definitely runs where you can get terrible RNG towards the end. So, the Trapper is a very, very annoying boss to fight. So, he's got 2 strange frogs in the field and a leaping trap. If I kill the leaping trap, it kills a creature that attacked it. They're all immune to flying damage. And it's going to summon another one, which is actually terrible RNG. So I'm going to get rid of one of the leaping traps. Then I'm going to summon a beehive. We'll let this turn play out. So he gives me a pelt, which is important for the next round of turns. I mean, you know what? The skunk is not bad for this. It's amazing for stalling. It's the only thing I can really do right now. I mean, I could technically black out in the field mice, but I do not actually want to kill one of those. Yeah, drawback can be really annoying if you don't get any Eagle cards. Which, as you can tell, was what happened there. I also got really bad RNG on the items. There's some really good items you can get there. Beehive there. Stoat. Here. And then one of the squirrels is still. Over B. Right. Freeze up that slot. No, I'm gonna save it all, pal. I'm just gonna have to cycle through my deck. Right, so this is the other unique mechanic. Like I said, Trap is very difficult to fight. This is the other unique mechanic. Yeah, it's another wolf pelt on my deck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the coyote and the adder. Now, so what I do here is I spawn Grizzly there, which should get me the win. Also, that bullfrog got the fucking 5 damage, like, goddamn. That was really bad for me. Grizzly being second last card is not good at all. Another fucking Gek. You know what? I'll take the Gek. Why not? Do myself a favour. So yeah. This usually isn't here in the base game. It's something else. I'm not going to spoil it because it's a really fucking interesting scene. I am, though, going to lower my deck a bit. I think I took the Raven Egg on... Yeah, I'll get rid of the Raven Egg. The Raven Egg is the least useless right now. They're the most useless right now. Doesn't do any damage and does not have any extra uses. So instead I'm going to put it on something like Field Mice. Or do I get rid of Field Mice and put them on... Oh, actually, that might be a better idea. Just get rid of the extra Field Mice and put that on my Gek. Because Field Mice is a 2 cost, so it's already going to be hard to get off. I am a tad bit worried about this fight, though, because it's going to be very difficult. At least with the build I have, because my build is everywhere right now. I really need to get good card costs. Yeah. This is the final boss fight. Oh, I got an amazing opening hand. Into Black Goat. So then goes into Grizzly, which will then kill both of them. So yeah, that is the final card I was talking about. Mantle Scott. That has Trifurcade, in which it hits every card to the left, in front, and to the right. It's one of the best cards in the game. It's also, there's a lot of funny stuff to do with it. But yeah, one of the best cards of the game. I really wish I'd been able to show it off, but that's okay for now. But there's turn 1. Neat. So, what the boss is doing here would make more sense. Oh, shit. I'm actually going to have to restart here. Did they change it then? So, right, for context, every two attacks the boss does, it does the unique phase change of each boss. So every 2 turns, it'll do the Prospector's one. Every 2 turns, it'll do, and then every 2 turns after that, it'll be Anger, then Trapper, and then so on and so forth. What it usually does is, if a Prospector breaks a beehive, it gives you the bee for it. Apparently it doesn't for this, because I know it does for normal Prospector. That's interesting. I genuinely did not know that. Draw. So I need to get rid of this. He's going to do fucking nothing damage-wise. I'm going to draw again. I'll put all 3 squirrels. 1, 2, and 3. Which will then kill the second phase. Because Grizzly does a lot of damage. Now, this is the hard part. The final phase. Oh. Hopefully I can do this. He does the Grujoke of, "We are going to steal the moon!" It's not that strong of a card, but it can be very bad to fight against. It's immune to being poisoned. It is immune to hitting over it. Can technically cheese this boss. If you really want to, there is a very easy way to fight it. But it's not that fun. Yeah, there's Omni Strike. No card but the moon has Omni Strike. It's a very strong ability because it hits everything in front of them. He has Tidal Lock, which means the units pull small creatures like squirrels into its orbit, meaning you cannot use dive creatures to ignore its damage. And Made of Stone, which ignores Touch of Death. Now, like I said, I do not advise using the strategy I'm about to say. I'd recommend you genuinely try and fight this boss and have fun. But if you feel like you cannot beat it at all, full stop, there is a very easy way to either get the knife or the scissors, and it will one-shot the moon. Do not recommend it because it takes a lot of the fun out of this fight. It removes all the effort you put into your deck building. But that is the easiest way to beat this fight. This one's actually just got rid of the snout. So yeah, the wolf will now give me bees. You can also do this. I do not recommend it because... Oh no, you can't. Oh, you used to be able to do that. Which would remove all of its damage and fun of the fight, but... Okay. You, and then place it. Like that. That's the entire first act done. In quotation marks, obviously, like I said at the start, this is Casey's mod. There's all my stats. I did have to cheese it twice. Like I said, do not recommend it. I'm just doing it for this run. But yeah, that's all you pretty much need to know. If you use everything I've mentioned, take everything in, you should be able to beat Leshy within 1 or 2 attempts. Maybe 3 at most. Depends how bad your luck is. There are a bunch of buffs you will get. So, like, if I actually did that run on the base game, I would never lose. I wouldn't need Grizzly at all. The Gek build I had, where it was a Gek with Fecundity, and then it does more damage every time it kills a unit, would not be able to lose, especially to Trapper. It is the perfect Fecundity in the base game, is the perfect counter to Trapper on a 0 cost. Because the 0 cost, you can get out every single turn, if you can get it on. Now, the only prerequisite for that is you get Fecundity and you get a Gek. But you get 2 chances to get that Gek and however many chances it takes to get a Mice in the run. As well as, yeah, to be fair, it would have fucking completely counted the flying build I was up against, because it would have done 2 damage to the Vulture, taking out the Mole, and then do 2 damage to Leshy. And then the next turn, the Gek would have went up to 3 damage, and then the rest would have been doing 2 damage, and would have done 6, which would have been a kill. So, like I said, if this was the base game, it isn't. If it was, I would not have had a reset, full stop. But it is easy to showcase everything spoiler-free. Does not spoil any of the story, including Act 2 and Act 3. It just shows off the main gameplay and a lot of the scenarios you will encounter. As well as showing off a few exploits. Like I said, don't use them unless you feel you have to. And even then, keep giving it tries. The whole point of this game is deck building and seeing how strong you can become using multiple different effects. You know, if you know the best ones, you can easily create the best decks in the game. Very easily, you can create a deck that is impossible to kill. I know I mentioned a few. So the Red Heart, you can get infinite rerolls on. What you do is you have this also leads into another one. Basically, what you do is you have a Ouroboros, and then you have a Black Goat. You give the Black Goat either, whatever you prefer, and this only works on the base game, Fecundity or Unkillable. And then you just need to draw both of them in one turn, and you cannot be beat with that combo. And then that combo can also be combined with the Red Heart for really, really strong effect. Now, you cannot do the Ouroboros one in Casey's mod. You can do the Red Heart version, because obviously it takes a bit of extra work, in Casey's mod. There is one other thing you can do that is on par with them, but I'm not going to spoil it, because you will usually encounter it. If you use your head when you get to one of because the base game has its own unique carve you can get for your first carve. First time you unlock the carving, you will get a unique one that you cannot get in Casey's mod. I really wish you could, but you cannot. That will make whatever creature that is, it'll be very obvious when you get it, very, very strong. Now, if you use your head, you can easily build the Immortal deck with it, or the Infinite deck with it. Do it at your own discretion, and do what you want. I like making busted things, unless it's something like this where I'm making a demonstration. Because I have had many more overpowered decks than that. I know I mentioned Mantis God. I believe I managed to get it to do 90 damage per hit on each slot, which was doing 270, and then got its 35 health, which took a lot because I just had to keep doing run after run after run to get it, but it was worth it when I got that run. It's a lot easier to do that with so in Casey's mods there is a specific deck you can go with called well, it's the 3 blood cost one. You spawn with a black goat and a 3 cost moose buck. The moose buck is the worst thing for this and is one of the worst 3 cost in the entire game. To be fair, I think even Amalgam's better than moose buck. Because Amalgam has the same damage, it has 4 less health, but it doesn't have the push sigil. Like I said, I consider the push and rampage sigils to be negative ones. The movement one isn't that bad, but the push and rampage are really bad. Because not only can they mess up the moose buck, they can mess up your other unit, which is not what you want. It, if you can beat an enemy first turn, it doesn't really matter. It completely mitigates that problem. The problem is when it doesn't. Yeah. I've only showed the bare bones of this game off. There's a lot of puzzles in the base game which are really fun, and there's a lot more horror elements than just the atmosphere like there is in Casey's mod. But yeah,